If you think being rich is the same as being wealthy, you are absolutely wrong. Welcome to Monday Money Moves. I'm Michael Abayomi, also known as Springbozz. Of course, I'm the Group Managing Director and CEO, Asset and Equity Group, a foremost and leading investment banking institution in the heart of Lagos Island and then Victoria Island, Nigeria. Of course, and in other major cities of the world. I say being rich is a destination, but being wealthy is a journey. This week, we will be looking straight at all the lines, the curves, the bends, as well as all the pathways to both riches and wealth. But very quickly, please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the AEG TV, to continue to enjoy your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. So, what does it mean to be rich? And what does it mean exactly to be wealthy? First of all, this is not some kind of popularity contest, and so we are not here to debate which one is good or which one is bad. But then, at the end of this video, you get to know what side you are on and which side you want to be ultimately. It was Nancy Arthur who said, "The only thing I like about rich people is their money." And that's more like saying the only thing a rich person has to offer is money. 90% of wealthy families lose their wealth by third generation. And when you are rich, definitely you should be ready for a lot of enemies. And when you are wealthy, you should be ready for even worse. A very good evidence of this are the Jews. They are naturally one of the richest ethnic groups in the world, having produced families such as the Rothschild, Larry Ellison, Michael Bloomberg, etc., etc. But also one of the most hated tribes in the world in many countries where they were forced to live in some particular neighborhoods. Okay, this led to the popular connotation that we know today as ghetto. That is, your popular ghetto that people talk about. I bet you didn't know that the word ghetto is actually an Italian word, specifically from Venice, meaning foundry. It's a place where the Jews were forced to live around the 16th century, and so much more story to that, but that's not why we are here today, okay? In my opinion, as a Springbozz, wealth is generational, while riches is momentary. What do I mean by this? Wealth is passed down from generation to generation. However, riches is either for the moment or the first generation of wealth. And I say this because I believe the rich has a wider or a better chance of going generational if they have proper intentions and they work on those intentions. If they have the right intentions and those intentions are properly worked on. So wealth generally is not exactly money, okay? Being wealthy does not really point to having cash in the bank, having a lot of cash in the bank, basically. But the beauty of wealth is that what is passed down from generation to generation might not even be money per se, but maybe some other valuable assets such as family names, crafts, a skill. And I say family name because some family names just naturally opens doors to key places, not just any doors, key places. And then when you say craft, there are some craft that are known for some kind of families, like in the southwestern Nigeria, for example, there are some families that are known for talking drum. They call them the Iron family and all of that. Then the third one is the skill. People more or less transfer skill from generation to generation, and a very good example is also the Jewish family called the Rothschild. The family has been running for over 500 years, and as we speak, one of the heirs is even the chosen one by the Queen Elizabeth II, is the preferred choice of the Queen to be his financial advisor. The Rothschild families are known for their finesse in finance. That is, they are more or less called the banking family called the Rothschild. From generation, hundreds of years over 4-5 centuries, and the name still continues to ring bell within the financial services space even till today, to the point that even the Queen of England still prefers a Rothschild to be our financial advisor. So another good asset that people pass down generation to generation are rights and privileges. Like, there are some families who are completely exempted from paying taxes in certain countries due to historical events and the invaluable roles that they have played during some time in the past, okay? Without contravening any confidentiality law or pointing fingers at anyone, I'd rather just go to my safe place, which is the Holy Bible, okay? This is just me trying to avoid exposures to any confidentiality risk that might be involved in mentioning names or whatever. I believe that whatever is in the Bible is already public. So that's why I'm going to choose from 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 25. Now the Israel had been saying, do you see how this man keeps coming out? He comes out to defy Israel. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his daughter in marriage and will exempt his family from taxes in Israel. So this was David and Goliath's story when Goliath had been terrorizing the entire kingdom of Israel, and then blah, 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 blah. You know the story. David eventually killed Goliath. So this automatically gave rights to David and his family and exempted them from paying taxes in court. I don't know if that still holds you today. But be that as it may, I believe that there are some families who enjoy certain kind of special rights and privileges that other citizens of the country do not have benefit of such. So another valuable asset that people pass down generation to generation is royalties and titles. Okay, there are some titles that are only earned by certain families in the world. A very good example of this is the Britain's Hereditary Monarchy. This means that the role of being king or queen of England is passed down in the family. There are special rules to decide who can inherit the crown. The monarch's first child, most likely, whether male or female, regardless of gender, is the first in line to the throne. But like I said, there are special rules. So becoming king or queen in England is not an automatic by birth. Okay, so another valuable asset that people pass from generation to generation is artifacts. So it's a general term for items made or given shape by humans, okay, such as tools or work of art, you know, especially an object of archaeological interest. And yes, people pass artifacts down from generation to generation because they are considered highly valuable assets, and they are mostly placed in museums, cultural or even religious locations around the world. So all these things generally point to the fact that wealth, even though consists of money, is necessarily not limited to money. There are other things that are associated with that money that makes it become wealth. So wealth generally is believed to be a combination of money, that is what money can buy, and some things that money cannot easily buy. I believe by now you are beginning to see why it's not enough to just stay rich. Like, you are rich, fine. We are not trying to say being rich is bad or being rich is less of what it is. I mean, the fact is being rich is being rich. You have money, you have money. But then being rich has its own benefit. Likewise, being wealthy has a lot more. So ultimately, it's way easier for a rich person to transform to become wealthy than for a poor person to become rich and become wealthy. So guys, the beauty of life is that if you don't come from a wealthy family can still come from you. Now that we understand that to become wealthy, we must first become rich, okay? And so this takes us to 4 critical questions demanding lots and lots of critical answers. So these are like, oh, how do I become rich? Then how do I stay rich? And then how do I transform from being rich to becoming wealthy? And then ultimately, how do I build a wealthy family? So no one has a complete answer to all of this. As a matter of fact, there's no one answer. Like, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of affair. So everyone has their own kind of framework that they follow to make this happen for them. But then the answers to all these questions is what I have compacted into one framework that I call the Springbozz Think and Play model. You know, the Think standing for THIINK. So the T standing for team, and then the H standing for health, then the I for income, I again for invest, and then K for knowledge. But in no particular order, I'll talk about these things and then how they more or less play out in our day-to-day endeavor. So first of all, they say health is wealth. And so your number one is try to stay healthy. This is just the first on the ladder, okay, to becoming rich and ultimately wealthy. You must be intentional about being physically healthy, being mentally healthy, and of course being spiritually healthy. So I already said in no particular order, so I'll take the second one as knowledge. In this case, the Oxford Dictionary defines knowledge as facts, information, and skills acquired through experience or education. And then maybe on the B part, it states it as the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. So I say to you, use your five senses adequately to learn. So what are the five senses? The sight, that's the sense of sight, sense of touch, sense of smell, sense of hearing, sense of taste. And then you'll be wondering that, okay, sense of sight, fine, you're reading, sense of touch or sense of hearing, you hear things and all. You're wondering what you can learn with your sense of smell and taste. So not a problem. Just watch me start my wine tasting lesson and become a pro and see what I get to earn while I enjoy drinking free wines from all over the world. So learning is actually endless, and all these learnings can be online. You know, we're in the age of free education at this time, where all academic, business, or even economic research, even career-wise, everything can now be learned online via YouTube, via all these video classes here and there. You don't have to go within the four walls of any college or university to learn these days. Knowledge is freely available almost everywhere. And you know, if you are in school still studying, you focus more on your academic. If you're in business, you can take advantage of mentoring and attending conferences, you know, webinars and the rest of it. If you are into economic research, you can do a lot of research work online and the rest of it. And if it's a career, if you are on the job, you try as much as possible to gather enough professional qualifications and certifications as you can. If you're in business or in career, whatever your endeavor is, the unifying factor is the knowledge of your regulatory environment. You must know your environment to thrive in that environment. So the third on the think and play model that I developed is income. You must be in the continuous habit of earning. You must be earning on a continuous basis. If you are running your home business, you must protect your cash flow with all the resources at your disposal. And if you are in paid employment, you must never leave a job until you get a better one. And take note that a better paying job is necessarily not a better job. It's all about career building. So the second I on the think and play model is invest. You must invest in yourself. You must just invest in yourself. You must invest in assets and businesses, and you must invest in people. You know, in some of my earlier videos, I talked about the theory of velocity of money. That is how money moves from hand to hand, from point A to point B, okay? So you must be in the habit of moving your money from point A to point B to point C, and it is that velocity that is created in the course of moving your money that generates wealth, or that accelerate wealth. That was what I referred to in some of my videos as the Springbozz merger cycle. So the combination of all these things is actually what will ultimately make you or help you build a wealthy or a rich family. Number 5, that is the N on the think and play model, is network. You must build a strong network, an effective network for yourself, for your children, for your family members. And you building network for yourself involves you meeting people, attending conferences, attending even parties, be involved in social events, volunteer for some projects, humanitarian efforts here and there. Use all those platforms to network, to meet people. And then how do you build network for your children from the scratch? Take them to good schools. It's as simple as that. The fees might be very expensive now, but trust me, in the next 10, 20 years from now, you won't be feeling the pain of that tuition fees anymore. All you will feel is the network you have built for those children. And that is how wealth is created, from you to children and then to other members of the family. So a strong network is not necessarily an effective network, and an effective network is not necessarily it doesn't have to be a strong network. For example, I would like to be a friend to the PA of the current governor than be friend to the local government chairman. I'm not trying to be discriminating, I'm just trying to set an example, okay? So number 6 from Springbozz think and play model is team. That is, T stands for team. You must learn the art of building a team. Within your network, build a formidable team, and even outside your network. How do you do this? You use your networks, okay? The people you know, the people they know, okay? That is like 2-step, 2 layers. Now, then you need to understand and be humble enough to know the people who know more than you, and you must be calm enough to let them join your team. Okay, humility is key, to work with people who know more than you, and accept that they know more than you and allow them help you. Okay, that is some level of calmness. So all of these 6 alphabets stands for think. Okay, that is the THIINK. That is the THIINK. That is the Springbozz think and play model. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know for a fact that the fact that you are not planning does not mean other people are not planning. And in case you're wondering why you really need to worry yourself with all of these activities, you feel it's too cumbersome, why do you need to trouble yourself this much? I tell you this, if you think you need to be rich, you are very, very right. If you think you don't need to be rich, you are also right. And if you think you just want to be average, you are also damn right. There's no wrong answer to this. It's all about your personal, individual, or even family decision. But then, I'd like to make an appeal to you. Get yourself a strong financial advisor. If that happens to be Asset and Equity Group, you are well covered. So guys, that brings us to the end of this week's episode of your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. Next is top news. So guys, welcome to the top news session of your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. Our top news for this week, we picked all the way from China, and it states that Chinese wealthy turn to family offices for the next generation succession planning. And I take that again. Chinese wealthy turn to family offices for the next generation succession planning. And what this points to basically is that family offices are normal unit or department within the investment banking institution. So it's one of the many functions of investment banks to run family offices for wealthy people. It's more of a wealth management kind of plan for the rich or for the rich or for the wealthy, the 1% of the 1%, like we always say it, okay? So family offices enables you manage your asset, manage your succession, that is, involves making your wealth go beyond you into extending to families, ensuring that that wealth continues to grow, and not just grow, continues to grow within the family. So family offices brings in to the family the level of professionalism that you'd rather get from most established banking institutions, bringing it, tailoring it to fit your family needs. And the fact of this matter is there are people we refer to as high net worth individuals, and then there are people we refer to as ultra high net worth individuals. That is, the 1% of the 1% are the people that most usually or that mostly use family office services for managing their assets, for the growth of the family, for the retention of family assets, for the preservation, basically, of family wealth. The wealthy people of today have come to realize that it is difficult for wealth to more or less go beyond 3 generations. It's a general thing that people say within the industry that most families lose their wealth after the 3rd generation, okay? So many wealthy people are concerned about this. It's a much more area of concern, and that is the crux of the essentiality, if there's any word like that, for family office. People now demand for family office, and most financial services providers always demand that, if your family net worth or if your personal net worth is not in excess of $100 million, you are not advised to own family offices. You can still enjoy and benefit from the services of regular financial services institutions all over the world, asset management companies, hedge funds, proper investment banks, and the rest of it, okay? So you can still continue to benefit, but as soon as you touch the $100 million mark and you're going beyond that, you'll be advised to say, why not set up your own financial institution? Because the family office inherently is more or less a standalone financial institution for itself, just for the purpose of catering for or managing the wealth of a particular family. So there are some banking institutions today that offer family office service to their clients, and many of these people more or less outsource some of their human resources, capital resources, their knowledge, and what have you, to ensure that the family or this individual, the ultra high net worth people, enjoy the best of the service. And if you are wondering, for your family office needs, you can always knock on our door at Asset and Equity Group, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. We would open to you and attend to all your family offices needs. It's all about managing your wealth. It's all about keeping you rich. It's all about ensuring that you stay rich. And that's it. So guys, that will be all for the top news session of this week's episode of your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. Next is the quote of the week. So guys, welcome to the quote of the week session of your favorite finance blog. Our quote for this week is taken from Robert Kiyosaki. And that is, it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep and how hard it works for you and how many generations you are able to keep it for. What is this pointing to? It's pointing all the way from becoming rich to becoming very rich, and then to becoming wealthy. And then, of course, building generational wealth. So what Robert Kiyosaki essentially is pointing to here is your ability to make that money works for you. More or less pointing to the Springbozz think and play model, okay? So once you are able to use the think model, then all you are left to do is to keep playing. Okay, you play all you like. Okay, just ensure that you have executed most of the things that you have in the model, as I've explained in the body of the video earlier on. What do you need to do? Basically, what you have to do is make your money work for you. That is, invest it. Improve on the velocity of your money. That is, make your money move from asset to asset, from hand to hand, from location to location, from position to position. The more your money moves from asset to asset, the more it is making more money along the process. Okay, and when you do that as much as possible, then you must now learn the art of wealth preservation. You don't keep all your money in a depreciating currency. I'm giving you a hint. Okay, if you have all your money in naira, for example, you are on a very wrong move. You can put your funds not necessarily into buying dollars, buying pounds, and the rest of it. You can put all that money into other assets that do not depreciate with the naira. Okay, it's not every asset that depreciates with the naira. For instance, if you buy gold, you keep that money in gold. Okay, gold is not going to depreciate with naira. Okay, gold is measured vis-a-vis other convertible currencies of this world, which are like dollars, pounds, euros, and other major currencies of the world. So thanks guys for joining me for this week's episode of your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. Next week promises to be even more exciting and highly informative. Thank you guys for joining.